IShowSpeed is pissing off America. America has tried so hard to make it look like Africans were living over in bedrock with the Flintstones. And everybody's at war holding a machete with some tuxedo shoes. America tries so hard to make it look like Africans are out there stopping cars with their feet. That's not the case. Every time I saw Africa growing up as a kid, it was on Feed the Children. For 70 cents, you could feed a child, and they showed nothing but stars.
Some people are put on this earth just to be special, and I think Speed is the perfect example. He's the best content creator in the world right now, and I don't think it's particularly close. I guess Timothée Chalamet, more of an actor than a content creator, but I guess it is the same. But there's no one out there right now like Speed. He's one of one. This stream tour that he's doing in Africa, it's unbelievable. The video with the cheetah.
Man, this whole time, bro, they made us fucking think Africa was such a poor country, bro. Such a place you wouldn't want to be at, bro. And Speed is single-handedly changing my perspective on life. Like, the music in Africa, the culture, everything. Every single aspect of Africa just makes my insides feel so good, bro. And it makes me just want to leave America. Bro, I feel like America is the trap. America is the trap. The American dream is the trap. Everybody else is free. But not free from America. America's the problem, bro. America's the fucking problem. And I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. Like, Speed, thank you, bro.
Hello guys, how are you all doing? So it's IShowSpeed season. IShowSpeed has been trending for days since he came into Africa. IShowSpeed came to travel to South Africa. He held his tour and it was successful. So a lot of Black Americans are actually crying. Why are they crying? They are saying, oh, they told them lies. They have been believing lies about Africans. They thought Africa is a zoo. Africa, all the wild animals live there. But IShowSpeed has proven them wrong. Africa, it's human beings that live in Africa. Africa is a nice place, beautiful. The people are so welcoming. They love everyone. Yes, Africa, we love ourselves, guys. Like, his show in South Africa was marvelous. His tour in South Africa was beautiful. The people of South Africa actually welcomed him very well. You saw? Did you watch the video? If you haven't, go to his YouTube channel and watch it. It's beautiful, guys. The people of South Africa are so nice, so lovely. They know how to welcome strangers, and they also know how to stay with people. Please, if you're new on my channel, you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop your comments. Let me know what you think. So seeing Americans, Black Americans crying, oh, they lied to us, they told us this about Africa, they told us, but IShowSpeed's is here to show you a different Africa. They have been telling you guys for ages, for years, don't go to Africa, animals will eat you. No, that's not how Africa is. Anyway, guys, please take a look and watch this video and see how some Americans are actually reacting to IShowSpeed tour in Africa. Take a look.
That he released. I saw a video of him with the tribe recently, and he was talking to a woman there. Her father comes up to him, who turns out to be the leader of the tribe, I guess, and goes, oh, you want to marry my daughter? Cool. Just give me 17 cows. Who else is making content like this? Athleticism, too, is insane. He could be in the NFL if he wanted to be. Tell me that he couldn't be a shifty, speedy quarterback back there. I'd sign up for that. I'm a Jets fan. He could play any other position, wide receiver, running back, cornerback. He started streaming what in his bedroom in Ohio. I feel like he just released that song, World Cup. Now he's in Africa, Botswana. I saw a clip of him shaking 100 people's hands in a row. People are shaking his hands and just passing out. It's like they met the Pope. Generational run. I don't know if it'll ever be repeated.
The way IShowSpeed is moving, you would think that he's like a streaming Henry Louis Gates. I wasn't expecting him to go to a country like Angola or South Africa, but he's about to do wonders for tourism. Like, he might legitimately meet his match in the athletic realm. Like, he's gonna legit see where his dreams come from. But I really love like how he integrated himself in the culture so fast when he went to Angola. Right from the jump, he's doing front flips while people are doing capoeira. He's dancing with South African kids. I would have thought that he was from those countries the way he blended in. But I love this because it proves one thing. Africans are cordial, they're respectful. Yeah, he has fans, he has people that come up to him, ask autographs. But this time when he does his stream, he doesn't have to worry about people grabbing his hair and selling it on eBay. I haven't heard any racial slurs. I haven't heard anybody violate Speed. Like, it's dispelling a lot of American propaganda. And he's actually gonna do crazy numbers. And I wouldn't be surprised if this helps with the tourism in a lot of these countries. I mean, America tells us that Africans are savage, primitive people. But what you see, man, is like they are actually treating him with a lot of respect. I love this for him, and I hope it goes well. I really do.
Speed going to Africa is way deeper than what you think it is. And I'll tell you why. So, everybody growing up in the States, I can't speak for other countries, but people growing up in the States, you see Africa, especially as a kid, you see Africa as like some like desert with really primitive people just walking around with fucking spears and shit. But what Speed is doing, he's showing all the cities and all this shit, and that it's more than that. And I'll say for me, fortunately for me, somebody was able to show me this shit early on. So I was able to recognize like, oh, so there's way more out there. But Speed is showing this shit in real time on a stream, showing you how this shit is. And he's getting more love down there than he was getting in Europe, where racism was born. So, all this shit is intertwined. It's way deeper than what you think it is. So I want to make a part 2, I can make a part 2 too.
IShowSpeed going to Africa and him receiving all that love. It's really opening up the eyes of people in the diaspora, particularly Black Americans, to the love that Africans have genuinely have had to Black Americans. It also shows that the diaspora wars are something that are engineered, and it's something that has been brought to basically keep us divided, because together we're a power and we can cause tremendous amount of change. Black Americans and generally people from the diaspora were kind of looked up to by the people from the continent due to the TV and the way that the propaganda machine of America was spreading the culture, of America in around the world. So we were looking at what was denoted as the first world, the land of the free, and we were seeing the interactions between Black people and white people. So we can see that the Africans really observed, and they marveled and they were in awe of Black Americans. During the early episodes of hip-hop, there was a strong Afro-conscious or conscious element to hip-hop, and I'm not even say the CIA, but the FBI definitely got involved and twisted that around. And then that connection that was being kind of grown amongst the early artists and was kind of pushing people towards, that kind of overall global African ideology was extinguished. African people in the diaspora, or Black people in the diaspora, should form a bloc and unite, and should see Africa as a place of wealth and gold and, our true home. And when we do that, we'll see that there's tremendous amount of freedom that can come from us putting as much attention on Africa as other groups.
Bro, Americans are funny, fam, bro. I'm seeing their reactions to Speed, like being in Africa and stuff like that, bro. And it's actually mind-boggling, fam. You lot really think that it's just huts and lines and stuff like that. Like, the impact of colonialism is nuts. Because, what they teach you, man, over there, fam. And even still, I don't even feel like that's a good enough excuse. Like, there's actually the internet for you to know, fam. Do your research, bro. You're here saying, he's single-handedly showing me that they don't live in huts, this, that. What? It's actually 2026. That Google is free. You're talking about they don't live in. What did they teach you, man? I'm not just trying to generalize, but bro, and it's only Americans I've seen say that, fam.
Man, these new generation of African kids are lucky. I wish there was someone like Speed back in the day who did streams in Africa and showed the world how Africa really was. Because the amount of misconceptions that were spewed about Africa were diabolical. And us as youngins, we really couldn't do much but just tell them, that's not what it is. I'm not gonna lie, it was to a point where up until I visited Africa, at a young age. Alhamdulillah, I got the chance to. I believe some of it, and I was a victim of some of the misconception. I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. You see everywhere on TV when they talk about Africa, you see lions, giraffes, zebras, right? So I'm from Guinea, so I remember when I was like 7 years old, 7, 8, maybe even 6. I went to Guinea, right? And this whole plane ride, I'm so excited not even to see my family. I'm excited because I'm thinking I'm about to see lions, giraffes, and zebras like off the touchdown. So we land in Guinea, and I'm just looking around like, yo, where the giraffe? Yo, where the giraffes? And my uncle is like, what are you talking about, bro? I say that to say social media paint this picture of Africa, which is just not true. Or should I say, that's not the whole Africa. That's just parts of it. There's way more to it. But I'm glad Speed is doing this. Hopefully by the end of the stream, you know, people put respect on Africa, bro, because these past couple of years, people been wilding.
Speed's Africa tour is kind of scaring me right now because the amount of people admitting that they didn't realize that Africa wasn't just like sticks and mud. That, like, you know, Africa actually has, you know, modern technology and roads and running water and all that type of stuff. And then that Africa is a continent, you know, not a country. I've seen clips of Speed's story, and like, I love it because every place he goes, he kind of rewrites like the stereotype or the image that people have in their head, and he shows that, hey, like, this is a normal place. But especially with Africa, some of y'all I genuinely like worry about. Because even when people who are like, oh, but you know, the American propaganda makes you think that Africa is just like nothing and extremely all this. Guys, can you do a little bit of research and maybe just like a little bit of logical thinking? Like, do you really think an entire continent will just be sticks and mud and tribal people? If you just look up Africa City, you will see so many cities that look just like ours with skyscrapers, big buildings, roads, infrastructure, all that type of stuff.
Somebody asked for a part 2 to the Africa joint. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I never said that I didn't know about the African cities. I never said that shit. I never even said I got my politics off of the nigga stream. I didn't even watch the nigga stream. I seen a couple clips. Nigga, first of all, dog, since I was 16, 17, I knew that there were cities in Africa. That's when I first found out. But nigga, before all of this shit, before the social media even got to the point where it is now, it's like it's not coming across niggas' minds to be like, oh, I'm gonna look up Africa cities and shit. I only seen what I seen on TV, and that shit controlled. So you only seeing like I remember seeing like the Ebola virus on TV, or like it should look like a desert, bro. And that's all. When niggas talked about Africa, that's all that they talked about. But you know, of course, I learned after. But motherfuckers don't listen. That's why niggas ain't getting to part 3. Niggas don't listen.
Hello guys, how are you all doing? So a lot of reactions coming from Black Americans. They can't stop talking about IShowSpeed tour in Africa, especially the tour in South Africa. Guys, it choke. A lot of things actually happened. A lot of people actually thought IShowSpeed is in Africa to collaborate with a lot of content creators, especially the streamers. The upcoming streamers. No, man, IShowSpeed is here to learn about the diverse cultures of African countries. He's not here to collaborate with your favorite artists or your favorite musicians or your favorite content creators. No. Anyway, IShowSpeed actually enjoyed his stay in South Africa. It was marvelous. It was beautiful. The people of South Africa welcome him very well. Oh my god, people can't stop talking about the warm welcome he received from South Africans, right? He felt like he was in his house, in his home, because he's a black person. They welcome him so well, more than how Europeans even value him. He was valued in Africa more than how they value him in Europe. A lot of people are actually talking about it. Anyway, if you're new on my channel, you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe on this platform. Like, drop your comments, let me know what you think in the comment section. A lot of videos, and even Black Americans crying. Why are they crying? I don't know. Guys, keep watching.
You know, I don't even watch Speed like that, but you know, I've been in his algorithm, I guess, recently because a lot of people in the Black African diaspora in the Americas and even in Europe are discussing how, you know, I am Speed, or I'm not even sure of his full name, but he's, you know, apparently one of the biggest live streamers in the world. I didn't know that. I didn't know he had that ranking, but you know, he's a Black American man, and he recently has been going on these public tours and telling people about, you know, where he's going to be. And apparently, when he visited Europe and Asia, he got a lot of racist backlash and people just coming at him, like finding him to be racist to him. And so now that he's in Angola and I believe in South Africa, a lot of people are just seeing the fact that he's being welcomed and basically treated like a king, you know. And obviously we know that, you know, money and clout is a part of that, right? Like, not every African American who goes over to the African continent is going to be treated with a bunch of fans and fanfare. But at the end of the day, it still shows that even with someone who had a platform, he was treated drastically differently on two different continents. And I believe he was in Asia as well, and they did the same thing, like a lot of weird racist stuff to him in Asia. And so, yeah, just Angola, from what I've seen, has a pretty good infrastructure. And obviously South Africa is very well put together. And so it should come as no surprise that he was treated better, in my opinion. But that just goes to show you why we should be having these conversations, because, again, they want all black people to hate each other and not identify with where we come from, so that we don't start making moves to get the hell up out of here and stop wasting our time in nations that act like they don't even really want us and want us as work mules and slaves. So, you know, I just saw a really beautiful video where someone was brought to tears because of what they saw and how he was being treated, because they were just basically bringing up the same lie that they were taught, that, oh, Africans hate you and all they do is live in huts and stuff over there and they've got nothing, and on top of that they hate you and they're jealous of you and all this other stuff. And I've just never known it to be true. And I think those of us in the diaspora, those of us who come from the Caribbean, Europe, the Americas, Latin America, wherever, what have you, I think we need to start, like, acknowledging the fact that, like, yeah, people are going to be people anywhere. Just because you had one bad interaction with a nasty person, you know, African person, doesn't mean that the entire continent is against you. Like, that is such a weird jump to make. There's plenty of African Americans who I want to smack. There's plenty of Canadians, Jamaican Canadians I want to smack. There's plenty of Jamaicans I want to smack. But there's plenty of people in all of those same groups who are down for me and, you know, have supported me and, you know, support my work and what I do and all that stuff. There's a couple of Nigerians that I met here who I want to smack. And then there's Nigerians who I look up to online who I think are amazing people and are doing amazing work. And I bring up Nigeria specifically because that is my homeland. That's where most of my ancestry comes from. So, you know, nothing's ever going to be perfect. And there's plenty of places maybe on the African continent that do need some structural change. And no, not everything is perfect, but how is it going to get any better if you keep believing that black people are inherently the problem when colonialization was thrust upon us and a bunch of other melanated people on the planet? So I'm glad that just the fact that one of the most popular streamers in the world is showing black people and those of us in the diaspora the fact that, like, a lot of these African fallacies and lies, they're falling away by the wayside. You can't look at what's going on in America right now and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then assume that everything is going terribly in Africa as well, when that's such a huge, vast continent with all of these different countries. Like, clearly they've got a whole bunch of different stuff going on, good and bad, just like the Americas do. So I'm really glad to see that, you know, a lot of people are taking notes from what they're seeing by Speed being in Africa and what that means for those of us in the diaspora. It can be a good time. We can learn some things, and we can make connections that are important, lasting, and lifelong.
Speed in Africa makes me so happy. I just love seeing that he's having a great time, because a lot of Black Americans don't travel to Africa. They stay in America and they believe a lot of the lies that their white racist granddaddy be telling them about Africa. And I know a lot of them watching Speed will say, oh, it's because he's a celebrity. And it's like, y'all don't even know what you're talking about. Y'all just be ignorant as fuck doing all of this. But when I was in Nigeria, like, I would see white people more than I would ever see. But I don't think I saw one Black American when I was in Nigeria for like 8 years. So I just love to see when Black Americans visit anywhere in Africa. They have a great time. They connect. They just have great experiences. Of course, traveling, going anywhere, you won't always have great experiences. That's just how life is. But it just brings me so much joy. I never saw, like, you would see a white person in Africa before you see a Black American. The same white Americans, you'll see them in Africa before you see a Black. It's so crazy because white Americans will go to Africa, have a grand ass time. And then the Black Americans, the ones that look really close to a lot of Africans, are the ones that are like, yeah, they hate us. I can't go. They won't accept us. Like, why? How come you've already made up your mind before you even know anything? And that's how I know it's y'all's racist granddaddies, white granddaddies. I see a lot of Black Americans saying, oh, I don't think Africans like us. You don't think 54 countries in Africa, like 54 different countries with thousands of different tribes of people, they don't like just you from one country in America, like in North America? Like, you really think, like, how did you come to that conclusion? Did you go there and everyone rejected you? You went to every country and they all rejected you? No. If you are a Black American person that has, born and raised in America, never been to Africa, I need you to delete everything that you think you know about Africa. Just delete it. Because Africa has never been portrayed to be what it actually is to the world. The indigenous people in Africa have never been portrayed as what they really are, especially if you're American. You know that the white racist American government, how racist America has been, it's changing slowly, but you know what is going on. Racist African cartoons, how they display Africans, the fact that a lot of racist people like to use Africa to like taunt Black Americans. Y'all need to delete all that, because that is what is giving you your information. That is where you're coming from when you talk about Africa. You don't know shit about Africa. Even most Africans don't know shit about Africa. So if they don't know shit, I know you don't know shit. You actually have zero experience with Africans. And I know some of y'all gonna be like, oh, the Africans in America, that's not it, sorry. And it's so funny how y'all always like to forget African booty scratchers. The fact that y'all bullied Africans so much that they have to say they was Jamaican. Y'all forget all that and then turn around and be like, I don't think Africans like us. Oh, really? You don't think? Because all 54 countries of Africans, they don't like you, just... And y'all will go to white European countries. Y'all will go everywhere before you go to Africa. All I'm saying is broaden your horizons and always assume that you don't know enough. Especially if you're a Black person, whatever idea that you have of another group of Black people, just put yourself in their shoes and be like, if I was them, would I also be like that? If the answer is no, then question, find out information, do some research.
Guys, what do you have to say? I just want to say thank you for watching my videos. Do want to subscribe, like, and drop a comment. If you like videos like this, don't forget to subscribe, okay? So that whenever I drop videos, you will be the first to see it. You're gonna get notification about my videos. See you guys. For those of you always saying, look at the lens of your camera. I don't know. I always like to look at this side. That's why anytime I watch my videos, I always see myself looking somewhere like this. I don't know.